everybody. Josh RV Nerd here at Bish's RV, kicking it in Junction City, Oregon today. Got my hands on a couple more Arctic Fox models for you. This is the 25R. I think this is the best model they have. This gives you all that big, heavy-duty, rugged construction that Arctic Fox is really known and really respected for. You get all that, hot-cold insulation package that, again, actual owners just sing their praises for how well they do in, various weathers and various climates. But you're getting it in something that's a little bit smaller. Now, here's the thing, though. They build very heavy duty. They are not building ultralights. They have a complete custom-built chassis from the ground up, built thicker, stronger, gonna last longer. They're also a more premium price tag kind of product, so the one kind of goes with the other. The thing is, though, this 6,600-pound camper has over 4,000 pounds of cargo capacity. It's absolutely bonkers. It's almost overkill. I don't even know if you could put that much cargo in here. But folks, if you ever need a trailer to haul bags of concrete mix, I guess go buy yourself an Arctic Fox, and that could get you a heck of a payload and give you a place to take a break after you're done hauling 4,000 pounds of concrete mix. This floor plan, though, I absolutely love. We've got, a dedicated front bedroom, but you have a choice between either a sofa or a pair of chairs or recliners directly facing the entertainment center. It's very similar to a Coachman 252 Freedom Express that you might have seen on this channel, and I'll leave you a link to that so you can kind of compare the two. Freedom Express will be a more lightweight trailer, also a little more lightweight price tag. They're going to follow similar kind of layouts, but the kitchen space in this one is absolutely better. One of the hiccups, though, that I think you're not going to like is that this is, unfortunately, a rare instance of an Arctic Fox with a Camp Queen bed, which most of these don't do that. I was a little surprised to find that out. Actually, I went and measured that out to check that out. But I will tell you the good with the bad with everything in between. And if you appreciate that, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Let's get going. Now, I like to share both really cool, fun, positive things about RVs, but I also like to be real about this. I've yet to find the perfect RV, and I like to kind of also point out some areas of potential concern for some folks, and I feel like just getting a couple of those out of the way today. Yes, the decor is all of the browns. The decor is brown, browner, and brownest, and that is all it really comes in. It has that kind of Western stitching on those recliners. I kind of like that, but despite the fact that I'm just this, RV dork who's not very, outdoorsy, I did actually grow up basically, in a horse saddle. I grew up handling tack and stuff like that. And I think that kind of just speaks to my upbringing a little bit. The other thing here, it's a 1-2 punch up in the bedroom area. It's not a fully privatized bedroom. You do have a curtain. Thankfully, you see that left-hand reading light above the bed? It just totally disappears. If I get the camera, I'm not paying attention where I'm pointing the camera, sorry. So it is a heavy, thick cloth, so light's really not going to bleed through. But this is a rare find in an Arctic Fox. It has a Camp Queen bed. Now, thankfully, the mattress is amazing on this thing. That's a better mattress than I had in my house when my wife and I first moved together. But, for some people, the short bed is going to be an instant disqualifier. I hope you appreciate that I went out of my way to point out potentially disqualifying factors, things that might cause you not to buy this trailer from Bish's RV. But, I understand. Obviously, we'll shoot you straight. If you want a fully enclosed bedroom, if you want a longer queen bed, take a look at the Freedom Express 252. It's super, super similar. Now, over here, you saw the optional recliners, or I think they might just be rocking chairs. I got to double check to see if they are truly recliners when we come back around. Normally, there'd be a sofa right here. And this is an interesting thing. Arctic Wolves, nope, not Arctic Wolf. That's a different dog. This is an Arctic Fox. They're not really made with a major entertainment focus. So those chairs don't directly face toward the entertainment area, the TV. Instead, that's actually mounted over here in the kitchen, almost kind of motorhome style. And that's one of the areas where these chairs might be beneficial in the way that they can kind of pivot. But thankfully, so can the television. Now, obviously, that's a very small screen by today's standards. I do think that you could size that up a little bit. I think you got to kind of be a little cognizant. But if you look at this, they have a massive mounting bracket on the back of this thing. as long as the TV can fit in this space, the hardware, the wall mount, it can handle that stuff. Now let's take a look at the kitchen space as long as we're staring at it over here. There's a couple really key details that I love about the way they do their kitchens. So first of all, some quick construction points. It's all pocket screwed lumber core cabinetry. So if you are, rattle trapping this thing down the old country road and ride until you can't no more, cabinetry should be able to hold up. This is also an easy way to get to tell that's actually a 12-volt TV. So if, Rockwood Flagstaff, they do a lot of these things where it's like a 12-volt TV DVD combo. It's a little bit bigger than this. I think it would probably fit that space right there very, very well. And as long as we're kind of talking about the TV, again, if you're sitting here over at the dinette, if you're kind of leaning back against the dinette, it's a little bit more of a direct-facing entertainment. It's weird to kind of put a dinette over here in this position, but, it almost makes me wonder if somebody should make a version of this floor plan where the dining and the sofa are kind of swapped. I know that's weird, but it feels like it would work right here. Now, you may have noticed when the inside of our video first began, we had that big XL vent fan in view. You'll find another of those above the bed. You'll find another of those in the bathroom. So they don't use the 4-inch fart fans at Arctic Fox. They keep that air flow, flowing. The shelving in here is all adjustable or removable if you need to make some big space. The oven is larger, so if you're cooking more than just plain little cookies and biscuits, if you hit a pheasant on the way to your campsite, well, you pluck her up, cook her up. I almost wish that shelf wasn't there, though, because I like to have a space for a wastebasket in campers that very few really generally seem to provide. And I want to get you around here, trying to do it slow to not make you motion sick. Look at the backing on these plywood drawers. Everything in these is thicker, heavier, stronger. That's why this weighs 6,600 pounds when other things like this probably weigh closer to 52 to 56. Now, a couple other little kitchen details here. I said there's a couple things I really love. First of all, look at the position of the outlets. And then recall the fact that this is a laminated sidewall trailer. It is difficult to put outlets in the walls of a laminated trailer. And to do it, you have to have at least a real 2-inch sidewall. So that's proof positive right there that you are looking at a thicker constructed wall and a side splash on the stove. That is so incredibly uncommon in the RV industry. The sidewalls of this are 6.5 foot tall. The ceiling is closer to like 6'9" or 10 or something like that, because it has that big barreled vault opening everything right up in here. But between that and the fact that this doesn't have the full bedroom privacy wall, it makes this more reasonably manageable size camper look and feel just as big as some of the bigger models. It's something they do that I really like. All the windows open. That's another thing I really like. You also have that Dream dinette system there where that can fold down into a guest sleeper as required. But notice you also have some outlets over there at that dinette. You're going to run a little laptop or phone charger or something? Perfect little place for it. You see those nice easy access drawers, the storage below the sofa so you don't got to tear everything apart. But look at those cushions. That is what I call being down with the thickness right there. And notice, too, we're getting those nice roller blackout shades, just straight blotting out the sun. I also had to have a little bit of a laugh. They call things like their cabinetry and their construction Northwood certified. You're certifying you did your own work? Okay, cool. By the way, my shoes make for a perfect little doorstop. And it's kind of funny. I noticed above this pantry, there was a doorstop, but I'm looking at it, it looks like it flips the wrong way. But I'm the idiot, because as you see, it's intentionally facing that direction, so the bathroom door doesn't fling open and bang and dig into your pantry doors. That's just some awesome attention to detail right there. Now, over here in the bathroom, we see the solid surface countertops from the kitchen and the stainless sink persist all the way through, which is kind of nice. That is a big sink as well. This is a more traditional step-in tub as opposed to a shower, especially considering it's not at all a bunk model. I personally, I think would have preferred a shower instead of a tub there. But am I wrong on that? I could be wrong. I don't know. Maybe you want to give the grandbabies a bath. I'm not sure. The vaulted ceiling though does make for some excellent headroom in this. And once again, you have 3 of the big oversized vent fans in this floor plan. Now, jumping in the shower with me, you'd have this kind of point of view right here. Notice these are all true hardwood cabinet doors, raised panel. You don't find a lot of that in the industry anymore, probably because it costs more, and with the way pricing on things has gone up so much, a lot of brands have tried to avoid that where they could. That is a porcelain foot flush stool, by the way, and if you notice, it's a little tight, but I could do the work that I need to do. You do at least have easy access, easy reach to the old butt napkin roller there. And we're going to head up to the bedroom just after this. But what is awesome back here, if you're going to spend a big time and you just don't want a giant coach, this has a huge additional storage closet back here, where if you need to, you could add shelving in here, certainly, but if you wanted to just be able to have a bunch of clothes all hung up or something, you wouldn't have to like take things out, unfold them, iron them. It ain't like you got a lot of room. I can't even talk. A lot of room in an RV to do something like that. And I like what they did back here. They gave it just a little window for some light, but they frosted it so you don't lose privacy. That's smart. I don't understand why more brands don't do that. It just, to me, it makes sense. A lot of sense. Standard air in this would be a 13,500 BTU. You can also swap that out for 15,000. I think you can even sacrifice the big XL vent fan above the bed to gain an additional air conditioner, but I could be wrong on this smaller floor plan. So apologies if that's not dead on correct. Now, I want to make sure I clarified this correctly. I think earlier I might have said the phrase full dinette drawer storage under the dinette. It's not. It's like half, but you have outside access to the other half over there as well. So you maintain full dinette storage. You never have to take the decking off, but again, full plywood under anything that you're like sitting or sleeping on. Once you see the plywood next to this, the chair, obviously. Normally, there would be a couch here. The twin rocking chairs, not, I think they're called recliners by Northwood. They're not. They're just rocking chairs. I'll give you an attaboy if you can tell me why the charge controller is blinking like crazy at me right now. Nothing really to worry about, by the way. I love that clock. Freedom Express Coachman. They used to have these little Coachman clocks. People would steal them all the time. I hope that doesn't happen with these Arctic wolves or foxes. God bless America. I do that all the time. Sorry. So if you look at that trim piece up at the ceiling, that's a very easy way to see how vaulted the ceiling is, because they kind of use that to sort of, frame out everything else to make it all kind of look the same. Now, this thing has a big, heavy mattress that you're probably not going to need to replace. Question then becomes, can you get under it? Like a fox you can, like an Arctic fox. Because they plan on that big, heavy mattress. They also plan on heavier load gas struts, so you don't have to heave-ho lift that thing and throw out your rotator cuff or whatever. And of course, full storage all the way around the bed here. Now, on this side, they go with a elevated kind of hanging tower and a side stand. Note the location of those household outlets there. You've got USB plugs below and a bonus drawer. Also, handy little laundry chute, basically. This side, they went with a full hanging tower in case you have something taller like Uncle Gary's sundresses that you don't want to get wrinkled up. So you have your household outlets in the headboard, but you do still have USB plugs over here down on the side. And man, when it comes to road mode, it does not get much better than this. Even with that big slide fully retracted, you can easily walk through here. You can get to the bathroom, the refrigerator, everything. Oh, something else I forgot. These have dual pane windows standard. Now, the sticker on these always says insulated window. They don't really add any significant insulation quality. And if you're thinking, oh yeah, but they get rid of condensation, they don't. They only hide it. For condensation, you really need to use a dehumidifier. A little RV pro tip for you. But what they do extremely well, when you're not in a camper with a mouthy talky talk like me, they keep it nice and quiet. Hi, Talky McMouthface. Pleased to meet you. Now, Northwood makes 2 types of travel trailers directly. There's the Nash, which is really just a more plain Jane rugged kind of get off grid, get off the beaten path kind of thing. Then there's Arctic Fox, which is a little more of an executive kind of upscale look, feel, features. A little more of the glitz and the glitter put into it. So that's kind of the logic and the division between the two. Now they certainly overlap quite a bit, and I think Arctic Fox overlaps also quite a bit with its cousin, Outdoors RV, which I've had a ton of requests for. I'm not ignoring you guys. I don't get out west very often, and since both Northwood and ORV are Western brands, I just don't always get a lot of opportunity to try to put my hands on one. I am actively searching, actively looking, though. But take a look at this. This reminds me actually of something Cougar used to do, and I sort of, now that I say this, I sort of miss it. This whole light gray portion of the nose cap is actually like a spray-on, almost bed liner stone guard. So if you are getting away from the parks and you got, a lifted truck with some kind of fancy tires or something like that that's a little more inclined to grab and fling a stone at your RV, it's kind of nice that you have a little bit of an armored shield up front to handle that. You may notice, too, they use a long shank jack on these, which allows that foot pad to retract all the way up to the chassis. So it's not hanging down low where it's inclined to get, half ripped off or knocked off or whatever. Slam latches, magnet holdbacks, plenty of campers have that. I'm going to make sure you're aware that this does. And it does have a full pass-through, but remember, you have that cool little laundry hamper feature on the inside so that you have a place to put yesterday's clothes now that it's, tomorrow? Does that make sense? I don't know if that made sense or not. I think you get what I mean. I don't know if I said what I meant to say, but I think you get the general idea. I need to go get some more caffeine. Didn't sleep great last night. Don't know why. Although, I do enjoy being out here. This is a great team that we have at this Oregon store. Now, you've got a couple really cool options available on these. One of those is this flex fabric awning protector, basically. The base of the awning has this, wrap that can go around the awning shroud to kind of protect it. I don't believe that's actually optioned onto this one. So if you're looking at that going, I don't see it, it's probably because it's, not there. This is an interesting thing they do also. They put both the small and the big grab handle onto these. It almost looks like somebody added it aftermarket, but they didn't. They did it with intent, It's just something a little bit uncommon. Got the MORryde step above stable steps on here with those adjustable foot pegs. Goodyear endurance radials, American made and rated for 87 miles per hour, but still including that little mud flap. It's just those tiny little differences and details that they put into these. I kind of like. This is generator ready right from the factory. And if you want to add one, there's both a factory generator option, or you could just use it as storage, is the default format here, or you could give us a call and we could certainly get a generator put in for you. Let's talk a little bit of construction. We got things like that 10-gallon vessel gas electric fast recharge water heater, but from the ground up, they're built different. They do not run on an industry standard chassis. Northwood doesn't buy their chassis from someone else. They build their own chassis. They use thicker grade materials. They're heavier duty. That's why this thing weighs what it weighs given its size, It's about a cold 1,000 pounds or more weight than somebody else who builds a floor plan like this. That's not an accident. You have bigger, thicker walls. You have plywood under all seating decks and bed decks. Not just like a Luan panel. Everything on this is a little more heavy duty. And again, you've got crazy rated axles on this to what's it have a little over a 4,000 pound cargo capacity. That right there is a really good way of telling how much can you actually throw at the RV and have it just keep going. And with Northwood, you can throw more at it and it just keeps on going. Now, I realize I somehow managed to forgot to talk about the optional slide awning that you can get on these. Now, that's something that we could add to almost any of the RVs that we have at Bish's. There are actually some rare instances in which the way the slide-out flange interacts, kind of the height variance between the slide flange and the roof line of the RV, sometimes, rarely, you actually really don't want to add those, but this is obviously not one of those cases. The biggest thing, you need to make sure that there can still be a bit of a downhill runoff on that, so you're not actually shunting water toward the RV. I like the white AC shroud here, really helping with the efficiency of that. A lot of black AC shrouds, man, they look really cool, and admittedly, like that Sundance over there, I doubt the black AC shrouds, the reason that RV does or does not stay cool in the summer sun. It just, I think, if the air conditioner is running more efficiently, it's not running as hard, it gets more brakes, I think it's going to last longer. I don't really have data to support that. It's just kind of a feeling. Big giant skylight in that thing. Remember too, though, you do have that shade, like you can actually see the shade pretty well right here. And if you get like a lightweight fitted pillow thing, you could stuff that up in here. You could pull that shade shut, and you could really, really, improve the heating and cooling efficiency of the RV. Whether it's, spring, summer, fall, winter, whatever. Now, these big vent fans right here, notice how they are basically prepped for like a MaxxAir vent cover. And this is, again, it's such an old school thing to put that almost classic like luggage rack up here, but I don't know of anyone that really utilizes that. That's the thing though, it's like there's certain things on this RV that it feels like they're doing just because they've always done it. What is kind of neat though, like we have a couple of these parked side by side. Every single one of these has some level of like solar battery maintainer up top. I believe you have a choice. Like this is like a 45 watt or something like that, just a little trickle charge. You can get an additional 100 or even an additional 170, I believe it is, to add on to that. If you really do want to spend some time, away from the parks and away from people. I don't blame you. So thank you once again for tuning in. I will leave you a link in the video description to check where we have these parked and what we're asking on a given day. If you click that link and nothing shows up, it's because sometimes we can get sold out of these. And next to me here, I've got a little 22 Arctic Fox with no slide. Let me know if I should record that, because I only have a limited amount of time to spend. If that's one you want to see, I'll put her together. But until next time, take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.